The New York Knicks have now lost 5 straight games in a row after winning 8 straight games. The New York Knicks combated with a 5 game losing streak. They lose to the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio, 115 to 122. I'm Anthony. Once again, that is Chris. Chris, another tough loss for these New York Knicks tonight, and it seems like this team is reeling right now. Don't really know what's going on with them.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you were hoping wouldn't happen with the Knicks when it came to these losses.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they're just not clicking right now, and to lose to the Spurs, that's just this is not a good Spurs team, and we should have taken care of business. I mean, Julius Randle's still playing solid, but you know, granted, Brunson's out, but this is a game the Knicks should have won as well, and they just can't figure it out at the moment.
No, they can't figure it out, indeed. And look, we're 500 now. 8 game winning streak feels like a century ago. The San Antonio Spurs actually came into tonight 6-12 at home. They're not a good home team, and they're not a good team overall. And look, the Knicks are dealing with injuries. Obviously, R.J. Barrett is out, and then Jalen Brunson is still out. So they were shorthanded tonight, but it shouldn't have been a reason to lose to the San Antonio Spurs. Credit to them. Keldon Johnson, 30 points on their team, along with Langford, 23 points. The Spurs shoot 51% from the field, 39% from three. And look, the New York Knicks shot 42% from the field, 36% from three. We're better at the free throw line tonight, but yeah. One thing that stood out to me tonight was the New York Knicks got out rebounded by the San Antonio Spurs 48-38, and that is not normal because normally, Chris, the New York Knicks are a great rebounding team, and tonight that just shows me that they got out hustled and outclassed.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much is the biggest stat out of the game, in my opinion. Mitch was nowhere to be seen. It's like he didn't have the same energy that we've been accustomed to seeing lately. Just grabbing boards left and right, and I mean you could even say the same for iHeart. I mean they just didn't have it for whatever reason tonight. Not sure if they're still tired from the Dallas game or whatever it may be, but it's not a good look for us right now.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson early on was kind of he didn't have it looked like he didn't have his lift, he didn't have his legs, but yeah, they got out rebounded by double digits by 10, and that was pretty much a key contributor to the San Antonio Spurs winning this game because normally the New York Knicks out rebound their opponent, but Spurs are all over the place tonight, offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. And look, Knicks got out class tonight. They got out hustled, and normally we don't say that about this New York Knicks team, but it just looked like all those minutes that they played during the Mavs game caught up to them. And tonight, Julius Randle, 43 minutes, got knocked down there at the end. Got right back up, though. Mitch Robinson, 28 minutes. Mitch Robinson doesn't really play more than 30 minutes a game. McBride, 31. Quickly, 43 minutes. Career night for Emmanuel Quickly. Back-to-back career nights for Emmanuel Quickly. 36 points. That's a career high. 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Emmanuel Quickly was, from start to finish, was solid for the New York Knicks. And unfortunately, besides Julius Randle and Emmanuel Quickly, Chris, the Knicks didn't get anything else from anybody.
Yeah, I mean, quickly played well, and it sucks. Career high, 36 points in another game where one of the young Knicks, has a strong, scoring game, and
Yeah.
it comes in a loss that I'll be lying to you if I didn't say I expected the Knicks to win this game. I mean, again, the Spurs are not that great of a team. When your own coach comes on the record and basically says, "Hey, don't bet on us winning the championship this year," basically
Yeah.
telling you the team is trash, and then you go out, and lose to this team, it sucks. But it's
Yep.
it's getting it's getting frustrating, Knicks fans. Definitely is. But hang in there.
Yeah, it's getting frustrating indeed. Like I said, 5 game losing streak now, back to 500. It seems like we're back to where we were, Chris, from like 3 weeks ago. It just seems like they're a 500 team. again, they are what this record says they are. Look, they're missing Brunson. I get it. Maybe if Jalen Brunson plays tonight, the New York Knicks win. But, unfortunately, Brunson is dealing with that hip injury, and he was unable to go tonight. But Knicks had quickly step up. Grimes tonight was off. 1 of 10 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 9 points. Grimes was off tonight. You also had McBride was contributing, didn't really take that many shots, but he was efficient on the offensive end. Jericho Sims, 2 points. Hardenstein, 4 points. And Chris, we finally saw a sighting of Mr. Evan Fournier tonight after, what was it, 6 weeks of him not playing, something like that.
Yeah, about
And
6 weeks.
look, he came into the game and he actually did what he was asked. Evan Fournier, 4-6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 11 points. He looked okay. He didn't look bad. So he stayed ready.
Yeah,
Evan Fournier is a pro's pro, man. He stayed ready when his number was called and he came in the game and, you know,
yeah.
played
I mean,
well.
I think Fournier was solid for what he was asked to do. I mean, obviously the Knicks are shorthanded, and it did kind of surprise me to see him out there. I thought Tibbs was just going to roll with the core guys. No matter if Brunson is out or not add anybody to it. But here we go again when Tibbs is changing things up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fournier looked solid. It was kind of nice to see him out there, and you got to give credit to Fournier for just hanging in there. Not complaining, or at least not making it public, and just being ready to play once his number was called after such a long layoff.
Yeah. Evan Fournier comes in the game, plays well, plays okay, but other than Quigley and Randall, offensively, the Knicks were pretty much off. And to me, this pretty much puts the nail in the coffin for Cam Reddish, Chris. His time in New York is pretty much done. We can stop talking about it because if Fournier is coming in before Cam Reddish, I mean, that just shows you that Thibodeau is done with Reddish, whether you like that news or not. It's just, it doesn't make sense to keep talking about Cam, right?
Yeah, I think this is the nail in the coffin. I mean, either the Knicks have a deal already set for Reddish
Yeah.
once it comes time, and they just don't want him to get hurt. But I mean, like you said, Fournier is getting out there. Reddish clearly can play better defense than Fournier and can contribute offensively. The fact that it was him over Reddish clearly says he's done, which sucks because everybody knows I'm a big Cam Reddish fan. I want to see what he's all about here. He showed flashes, but it looks like he won't be flourishing as a Knick for years to come.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I think it's over for Cam, and whether he plays on another team this season or whether the Knicks stick him on the bench. But I do think there's a trade that is coming, whether that takes days or weeks. But when you insert Evan Fournier, who hasn't played in a while, over Cam Reddish, and look, Cam was playing well while he was playing, that just told me that, look, also, Evan Fournier's contract, Chris, I don't want to bring up his contract, but, maybe the Knicks are trying to showcase Fournier like, hey, like he still has some left in the tank that, you can use on your team, because Fournier, I believe, still has another year at like $18 million. So you just don't want to bury him. He showed tonight that he can at least, come off the bench and hit a 3 or 2, and we know what his defense is. But good to see Fournier out there. He's a pro's pro, and yeah, man. I mean, this another somber post game. I mean, it's just very unfortunate to be a New York Knicks fans right now. I mean, that 8-game winning streak, we were like on cloud nine. Not going to
Yeah,
lie to you. And it's just, Chris, it just feels like an empty, like I feel empty right now. It's just, I want to talk highly about this team. There's still some positives. Not Quickly's playing well. Grimes has been playing well, but injuries stink. Barrett's hurt, Brunson's hurt, but 500 team, Chris.
yeah, it's like a roller coaster ride. We had that 8 game winning streak, and then boom, here we are back at 500. But
In a blink of
with
an eye, back at 500.
oh man, yeah. But with that said, we are 500 still. plenty plenty of time left to build on this record. Get some good wins. Hopefully the Knicks can figure it out soon. I know we're going to be without Barrett for a while, which hurts. Um, but hopefully soon. Hopefully, whether the next game or the one after that, we get Brunson back, and I really feel Brunson's going to stabilize us, and get us, at least back to competitive basketball.
Yeah. Right now, the New York Knicks are eighth in the Eastern Conference. They have lost 5 in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10, 18-18 on the season. They're a half game back behind Miami. They were the 6th seed, but now the Indiana Pacers are the 6th seed. Still a game behind the 6th seed. The Knicks are currently in the play-in tournament. They were pretty much, a few games ago, they were locked in all alone in the 6th seed, but now, a few losses here and there. Now it's back to the play-in tournament. So, Leon Rose and the front office, I hope they weren't, sitting on their hands during the 8-game winning streak and, basking in glory, because look, what this team has showed you is that there's still work to do. And when you lose to the San Antonio Spurs, who are not a great team, and they're 6-12 at home, and to start this West Coast trip, this triangle in Texas, lost to the Mavs, terrible loss to the Mavs, lost to the Spurs. Now we have Houston, who's also a young, scrappy team on Saturday. So got to get back to the drawing board. Hopefully we can get some guys back. Hopefully Brunson is back, and just hopefully we can gain some winning momentum and just sustain winning. I mean, it happens I feel like the 8-game winning streak was like a good dream, and now we're just back to reality.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that the Knicks are the team that won that 8-game winning streak. I mean, they played out of their minds during that stretch. I still think that we are that team. I just think, I don't know if it's the minutes catching up to players, or what, but injuries creeping up. I just think the Knicks got to just pull it together, try to get healthy, and ultimately we just need to win. We need to go into Houston. We need to get a win. I mean, I know Houston can score well, but again, we should be able to compete with them and hopefully get the win at Houston.
Yeah. Starts in Houston, one game at a time. New York Knicks have Houston on Saturday, New Year's Eve. Who else do they have? Let's look at their schedule. Wow. It's just crazy to see. Remember we were talking about us seeing all the green in their standings, in their schedule, and now I'm looking at their schedule and I'm seeing all the green and all the red. Yeah. I mean, it's at Houston versus Phoenix. Phoenix is going to be without Devin Booker to start off the new year. Then versus San Antonio. Then look, just one win at a time. Just gotta get the win at Houston. Salvage this little 3-game Texas triangle road trip. Get your momentum going. Get your confidence back. Jalen Brunson all night long was cheering on the Knicks. You could tell he wanted to be out there, but it's tough loss for the New York Knicks. It's gonna be a quick post game because it's just another somber mood, and anything else stood out to you in this game, Chris?
Stat wise, no. Just body language. They look slow. They just didn't have it, and I don't know, man. It's getting tough, but we got to stay positive. It could be worse. We could be, 5 games under 500. So let's try to keep the positive vibes, as hard as that may be at this moment. But season is not lost as of yet.
Season's definitely not lost. Wow, I'm looking at Mitchell Robinson: 0 points, 6 rebounds, 3 offensive, 3 defensive. Just an overall, which Mitchell Robinson has been a beast these last few weeks, and for him to put up a donut, and he looked tired tonight. Not a great game from Mitch, and along with Grimes, you didn't really get any bench production other than Evan Fournier Derrick Rose, I mean, he is what he is at this point, and yeah, they have to improve the bench, Chris. They,
Yeah.
as much as I love Deuce and Derrick Rose, and Cam is looking like his days are numbered, but Knicks, which is why the New York Knicks, Ian Begley came out last week that they're interested in Tobias Harris, because maybe the front office realizes that we have to get scoring and some defense off the bench. Somebody who can knock down a three and can also score to give the starters a break, because playing all these minutes is going to catch up to you later on in the season. And, Tobias Harris was a name that was floated out there for the New York Knicks to acquire. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, I mean, having another 3 and D type of guy, it would be do wonders for the Knicks. Somebody else who can knock down shots, defend well, and
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, granted, the 8 game winning streak started when the rotation got trimmed down, but I mean, some of these guys are not used to playing so many minutes.
You think it's starting to catch up to them? That's why,
I really think it is starting to catch up to them.
yeah.
I mean,
And the injuries just came at a bad time.
yeah, that was just a bad coincidence, in my opinion. I don't think the injuries were because of playing too much. I just think, I mean, the Barrett injury was kind of like a freak accident. And then Brunson, we knew he's been banged up and he's been fighting through some stuff. So it was only a matter of time before he was going to get knocked out of a game or two.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think the minutes too, at least for their legs, at least the way they're moving right now, they're definitely tired.
Yeah. And the injuries, they came out a what could have been a worse, what couldn't have been a worse time, because all these minutes that the 9-man rotation had been playing, and look, they've been playing really well. They won 8 games in a row. They were 3 of these games in this 5-game losing streak. The New York Knicks could have won easily. Mavs game, Chicago game. So those are the little positives you can look at, but they didn't win. They've been losing. So we have to look at the negatives, and it looks like this experiment is kind of, I'm not gonna say over, because the New York Knicks are still playing well, but it looks like the injuries, when you pair that with the injuries and the guys playing 40 last game, 50 plus minutes, it just looks like everything is just snowballed, and everything is just starting to catch up to them, and it couldn't be a better time for the New York Knicks to make a trade. So I think something has to give. Saquon
Yeah.
hops in the chat. Quickly is my dad. Appreciate you, Saquon. Big game for the Giants on Sunday.
Oh yeah, let's
Big
go
game.
Giants.
Saquon hops. I'm happy Quickly is getting better. Do you think he can be a starting 2 guard? Coming into this summer, I did think Emmanuel could be a starting 2 guard in this league. And what he's showing you, Chris, last game, career high 14 assists. This game, career high 36 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Emmanuel Quickly has been rolled off by a lot of people. He's undersized. He was, if not, he's a great defender. That numbers don't lie. So Emmanuel Quickly, in my opinion, could definitely be a starting 2 guard in this league, maybe a starting point guard somewhere, because I do think he's undersized to be a 2 guard.
Yeah, I mean, quickly is, people were writing him off because the shots weren't falling, but he's shown that he can create. He's shown that he can hit the shots. He's starting to warm up now. Still a little bit spotty, but he's definitely getting in the groove, and
Yeah,
I definitely think he could be. He's a combo guard. He is undersized, but definitely he can be in the starting rotation. I mean, when he's on, he just stretches the floor out so much. You gotta pay attention to him, or else you're gonna get torched.
yeah. And look, the New York Knicks have been reportedly shopping Emmanuel Quickly for maybe a first-round protected pick, maybe a package to send off somebody. New York Knicks have to make a decision. It's either you pay Emmanuel Quickly or you pay Obi Toppin, because now that you tied your money into Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, now that you got guys next season, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, these guys want to get paid as well. And Emmanuel Quickly is showing you, Chris, that he definitely wants to get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Quickly brings it every night, and then and then the newfound defense with quickly. I mean, it's just the icing on the cake for him.
Yeah,
He's definitely a player that's looking to get paid, and hopefully the Knicks can retain him. You know.
yeah, we want that. Saquon, appreciate you in the chat. I think in 2020, the year versus the Hawks, he shot better from the line than Steph. Look, I believe that year that you're talking about, he shot about 90% from the free throw line. So at the free throw line, he's a good shooter. This year, he's been inconsistent. Last game, he missed 9 threes. So this year, let me just look up what he's shooting from three. I don't believe it's above 35%. Last 10 games, he's shooting 35% from three. This season, 32%. So, I want to see that number rise to about 38%. Free throw percentage is great. 10 points a game, 3 assists. But early on in the season, he wasn't really getting the minutes. But he's been solid for the Knicks, man. Emmanuel quickly has been nothing short of amazing. And, shout out to IQ. Career game, back-to-back career games for IQ. Saquon in the chat, they should pay Obi. He gives JR a break. Oh, Julius Randle. He's talking about Julius. Yeah, they should pay Obi. He gives JR a break. I honestly do think that Obi Toppin is going to wind up being traded. I know Knicks fans don't want to hear that. I know Chris doesn't want to hear that. But I do think Obi Toppin is going to be the odd man out. But his name hasn't been in rumors other than the Donovan Mitchell trade. Emmanuel Quickly's name has been in more rumors than Obi Toppin. So we don't know. But to me, it'll be dumb for the Knicks to trade Obi. I do think Quickly's like, he's such like a intriguing player. Like he gives you games like this, Chris, and then some games he just takes them off. Obi Toppin, we don't know what we have with Obi Toppin yet. I mean, he doesn't play minutes like Quickly plays, right? I mean, so
And I think that's the frustrating part if the Knicks were to trade him, because you have somebody who finished the prior season on a strong note and looked like he was comfortable, dominating, doing his thing, showed that he could give us the level of production, Randall gave us prior to this season. Um, but he only plays, what, maybe 20 minutes every night?
maybe,
And
yeah.
you don't get to see that full picture with Obi. So it'll be kind of, it's mind-boggling. One, that he doesn't get more minutes, and then two, if they do trade him, this could be one of the classic scenarios where a player leaves the Knicks, goes somewhere else, and then shines.
Yeah. Yeah, Obi Toppin, I do think he'll be packaged because I do think the Knicks have to free up some time here. I do think Obi would be packaged with either Cam and Fournier. That's why you hear Tobias Harris's name. Obviously, you can make the money match with Fournier's contract. Maybe the Knicks would throw in a first-round pick for that, but I don't know if that's the direction they go. But they clearly need to do something. They need to make a move, and it's just somebody's got to go. We can't keep all these guys, and somebody has to go. So it's going to be really interesting, Chris. Obi quickly. Fournier's on the block. Cam Reddish is definitely getting traded. So, out of Cam, Fournier, Obi quickly, 3 of those guys are probably going to be dealt to somebody. And it's clear that they need to make a move. And it's a guessing game as to guess which one is going to be dealt. And I'm assuming you don't want Obi to go.
Nope, and I don't want Quickly to go either. If I had my
Look,
choice, send out Fournier, send out Reddish,
but you're
send
not.
out
But what are you getting with sending Fournier, Reddish, and iHeart? You're not getting anything.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got to give to get, and the Knicks have to plant their flag on some of these guys. We know Grimes is probably not going anywhere. He should be untouchable. But I do think we're gonna come February. It's gonna hurt for a lot of Knicks fans that Obi or Quickly, one of them is gonna get dealt because something has to get shaken up here. And it just stinks that you have to attach Obi and Quickly with Reddish and Fournier to get rid of them, right? It's just the whole situation is just messed up. Saquon in the chat, they have multiple picks since they're not selling their soul to the Jazz, and they have tradable players like Cam, Derek, Evan.
that's true. I mean, why? Maybe we keep Quickly and Obi and attach some picks.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I mean, I think the Knicks can get something done with a pick package of some sort. Maybe not give up everything, but just something to entice them. Like, hey, instead of Obi, how about this first?
I mean, the New York Knicks have a billion first round pick, so
I mean, what good are those picks? Right now. I mean, if we could turn them into a solid player that can
but
help us.
yeah, but what do you're not really getting anything with Cam, Derek, and Evan. I mean, well, Cam Reddish, somebody around the league will take a shot at him. Lakers, maybe, a contender that Cam has shown his upside, and it's clear that the New York Knicks are done with him. Whether I don't like it, Chris doesn't like it, but I mean, what we're seeing from Thibodeau, the rotations, it's clear that the Knicks are moving on from Cam Reddish. Deontay in the chat, I see your comment, but I don't think it's that. But yeah, I just think that the New York Knicks are moving on from Cam. Maybe they have a trade in the works, but it's just going to be very interesting between those four guys, who the Knicks package. And look, Levine has been rumored, Tobias Harris. I don't think they'll go the Levine route. I do think that they will. Tobias. That's why when I heard Tobias Harris's name, Chris, at first I was like, "Yeah, Tobias Harris," and
Yeah,
then I took a step back and I was like, he would actually be a nice piece on this team, for what he does. So that's why that name intrigued me a little bit. What do you have to give up for him? I do not know. I'm not giving them I'm not giving them more than one first. It's going to be a protected first,
yeah,
But if you get off Fournier, Rose, maybe I don't know. I don't know what the Sixers want, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think same thing. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of Levine. I've said this before. I don't think I don't. I mean, his contract is just ridiculous. I don't think that's and his play style. I don't think it's a fit with the Knicks. I mean, I know he's a really good player and all, but and I also didn't really like the Tobias Harris once I heard that too. But then
yeah,
thinking about it really well, his play style will fit the Knicks really well. He defends, he can hit the 3 point, and he has a good mid range game too. I
yeah,
mean, it makes a lot of sense, and I don't think you'd have to give up too much to get a Tobias Harris.
yeah,
But considering it's the Knicks, teams like to try to fleece us, so who knows what they might ask.
yeah.
But
I don't. Yeah.
I like Tobias. I think he'll be a good fit with the Knicks.
Look, Tobias Harris is shooting 40% from three this year, and the New York Knicks are 26 in the NBA in 3-point shooting percentage. So you want to know the reasons why the New York Knicks are looking into Tobias Harris?
That
That
right there.
is that is why he's shooting almost 50% from the field. He's a great mid-range shooter, 40% from three, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He plays defense, and that is the reason why the New York Knicks are looking into Tobias Harris. But
Not only that, he's a bigger guy, and
yeah,
length empty, and the Knicks are pretty small right now, and we could use some more length in the lineup.
yeah. Deontay in the chat said what Tobias Harris is Harrison Barnes, but on steroids. Yeah, I mean, Harrison Barnes can get a bucket. Tobias Harris can get a bucket. Those guys get a bucket, and sometimes the New York Knicks they need that guy to just get a bucket, other than RJ and Brunson and Randall, Chris.
Hey, and Deontay, you know what? They've mentioned Harrison Barnes a couple times as a new target. So
Yeah,
I mean, it looks like that's a good comparison too. I mean, Tobias Harrison. I love Tobias, but that's the type of player it looks like the Knicks are trying to bring in.
yeah. Saquon in the chat, appreciate you. Joshua, appreciate you. Joshua in the chat, Rose better never play another minute. I mean, Derrick Rose, I'm not talking bad about Derrick Rose, man. The dude is a legend. But yeah, this season has been, quite an uphill battle from Derrick Rose. Hasn't been playing well for the New York Knicks. And you can tell why him, along with Fournier, got taken out of the rotation, Chris. These guys they weren't performing, and the only reason why Rose is playing is the Brunson injury.
Yeah. Although I will say, I felt like Rose would have been better down the stretch in that Mavs game. Just a veteran presence who can, calm the team down. I think Rose should have got some minutes at the end there. I know I'm still stuck on this
Oh,
Mavs
the
game.
Mavs game.
I can't get it out of my head. But
Oh
anyway,
man.
that's in the past.
Chris up 9 with 33 seconds. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my
hey,
gosh.
I mean, you get this is some of the stuff you get when you play younger guys out there, and ultimately this is what we want, right? This is how
Just
they get experience. Fortunately, we made the history books for the wrong reasons on that night,
just
but
one rebound. One rebound.
one one board.
One board. And then you lose to the Spurs the day after. Oh my god.
Yes, that's. I mean,
I mean, come on, guys.
this is
We'll,
why Knicks fans are the greatest fans in the world because we get abused and we're right back at it the next day,
yeah.
cheering on the team and hoping for the best. Um, what can I say? Shout out to Knicks fans for your patience.
Yes. Shout out to all Knicks fans. Shout out to everybody. We are warriors. Knicks fans are warriors. Deontay in the chat, and I think we need to keep Derrick Rose, man. The Lord is too scared. Rose in the garden. Yeah, I mean, Rose will have his share of fans that want to keep him. I don't. I think Rose will be kept for his veteran presence. Still comes in and provides his leadership. The New York Knicks need that, Chris. They need leadership. You can't just have a bunch of young guys on the bench. So
Yeah, I think Rose is that Tibbs, throwback, just veteran, kind of like what we had with Taj Gibson. I think he's filling in that role now. Um, whether he likes it or not. I know I'm pretty sure Rose was expecting to have a great season considering how he came in such great shape,
yeah,
rookie and all that. But, you know, I guess that did more bad for Rose than good, right? I mean, I guess he got used to playing it the way he was, and then maybe he just
yeah. I mean,
went too crazy with it.
yeah. I mean, Josh put a good comment. We flew too close to the sun with the 8-game winning streak. Yeah, I mean, you know, we were on cloud nine, like I said earlier in the post game, man. We were an 8-game winning streak going into what game ended the 8-game winning streak? The Raptor game, right? Or
Yeah.
the yeah,
Was it the Raptors? Let me double check.
I think it was the Raptor game that ended the 8-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was the Raptor game. So the Knicks had the lead in the fourth quarter. I mean, whatever. I don't want to go through that. So yeah, you follow up a great win versus Golden State on national television with a loss to the Raptors, a loss to the Bulls, loss on Christmas Day to 76ers, Mavs lost, Spurs lost. And it's just, it's tough, man. It's a tough pill to swallow at Houston next. And Houston is a scrappy team. They have Jalen Green over there is balling. And, as the New York Knicks are showing us right now, no win is a given. But Rockets are 10-25, Chris. I mean, if you don't go into Houston and win that game, you turn
I
an
mean,
8-game winning streak into a 6-game losing streak, and the Rockets are bad. I mean, I don't.
well, they got to show up. I mean, they can't give the effort they gave tonight. I mean, outside of Julius, outside of Quickly, the rest of the team has to play better. Um, I mean, tonight, San Antonio, 11 and what? Houston is one game off their win
Yeah,
mark. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
can't.
You're right. Yep.
Houston is, they can get hot. Jalen Green, he can go off for 40, on us. But let's just hope that's not the case. The Knicks get it together, start playing that defense we've been seeing them play so well. And, I just attribute the losing, like, a lot of these games were lost in the last couple minutes of the games, going back
Most
to,
of them. Most of
yeah,
them.
Toronto, even, I mean, Dallas. And
Every time you bring up the Dallas game, I'm just like in shock. I mean,
but
it's just.
And you
Oh,
think back to those games though, and there was just a lot of sloppy mental mistakes, and you could probably say that's due to them being tired. The minutes slowed and all that, but this is a Tibbs run team, so it's expected they're gonna play big minutes. So it
yeah.
is what it is, and the Knicks got to clean it up.
Yeah, and he's gonna stick with his guys. You know, the the one thing I could point out during this losing streak is that what you just said, the close games. They're not closing games. They're missing that closer. Free throws have haunted them. It's just a snowball effect within free throws. Fouls and just not playing smart basketball. Basketball IQ has been lacking here. So it's just coming off that 8-game high, 5-game losing streak now. It's just they got to clean up some things and start off New Year's Eve with a win, and go back to Madison Square Garden. Start off the new year with the win and get some of us fans, back on high hopes because yeah, Joshua in the chat hearing the Dallas game gives me PTSD. Yeah, I want to erase that game from my memory. Like the Will Smith Men in Black when he does a little flashbang. Erase that game from my memory, guys.
Definitely need that because, as you can tell, I'm not over it yet.
Yeah, not over it either. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Another loss for the New York Knicks. Once again, they lose to the San Antonio Spurs, 122 to 115. Career night for Emmanuel Quickly, Julius Randle, 40 plus points. Didn't really get anything else from the squad. Out rebounded by the Spurs by 10. Knicks got to win. Just go out there and win against the Houston Rockets, who are also a reeling team. No game is a given, Chris, and just have to go out there and win.
Yes, 100%. We just got to give maximum effort out there. Play the Knicks brand of basketball that we love to see during that 8-game win streak. Granted, we are missing a few key pieces, but Knicks
Brunson
should
get
be
healthy soon.
Houston. Yes. Hey, we
Yeah.
might see him in Houston. Who knows? I'm pretty sure he was dying to get out there tonight, and
He's about to drop a 40 spot in Houston, Jalen Brunson.
we could use it. That's for sure.
We could. Once again, appreciate you guys in the chat. All of you, Joshua, Deontay, Saquon, all the time. Appreciate you guys for chatting us during this post game. But we'll be back on Saturday. Have a good night, everyone. Let's go Knicks, despite everything that's going on. Yeah. Peace out. Have a good night.